Now on to the new viral sensation taking over social media, Orthodox Jewish choirs. Miami Boys Choir, a young Orthodox singing group, have made waves online after their videos were circulated on TikTok and making religious culture resonate with many who felt adrift from it. The upsurge in religious online content is comfort to many who feel the platform has done large damage to the traditional family and contributed to alienation. But many are now pushing back. I'm delighted to say one such star, Orthodox Jewish TikToker Melinda Strauss, who boasts an impressive 650,000 followers, joins me now. Melinda, thank you very much for joining me. Why do you think there's a growing interest in religious TikToks?
You know, it's interesting. I think that with TikTok becoming such a big thing, people were so bored at home for a little while, and they were just curious. And there's so much unknown about religion. I think also that there's so much negativity about religion. And because of that, people just want to know more. They want to understand it. One of the things that I learned early on when I was posting about being an Orthodox Jew is that people know nothing. They know absolutely zero about Orthodox Judaism. They maybe have a few ideas of something they heard on the news somewhere, but they don't really know much about us and our just day-to-day activities. My entire life is led by being an Orthodox Jew, by being a Jewish person. And for a lot of people, they don't really have an understanding of what that looks like. They have a basic understanding, again, of some stereotypical things they've seen, or maybe a Netflix show that's out, but they don't know what our real day-to-day looks like, and they just want to know more.
I love that you said your life is led by being an Orthodox Jew, especially in a time of identity politics. People should at least recognize that and respect that. But do you find the opposite? How are the comment sections on your videos?
They're interesting. Sometimes, I would say that it's a majority positive. And I want to lead with that because that's what keeps me going every single day, is knowing that people are so interested and they just want more and more questions. And I have this thing that I always say, there are no stupid questions. And I really believe that, because I think that if people don't actually ask the questions that they're thinking, then they're never going to get the answer. They're always going to make up some version of it in their mind. And if you have a question, it means somebody else has it too. I also get a lot of negativity. I get a lot of anti-Semitic comments, a lot of people who tell me I'm acting like a victim in my life, which I never live my life like that. So I always find that really strange. But there are a lot of people who just will come on and say negative things about Judaism, about religion in general. They'll call it a cult. They'll say things like that. But I just feel like instead of addressing that, I keep moving forward with the positive and answering questions. And that's what I focus on.
I like the encouragement of positivity and just ignoring the negativity. That's a good approach. I used to do that as a teacher. I think it helps with that young mindset that we see on TikTok. But I would suggest that TikTok is actually cultural subversion from communist China, and it's put out there to promote ideologies that are harmful to Western life, harmful to British culture. Would you accept that criticism of TikTok, and is that part of the reason that you're on it, in order to provide an alternative perspective?
I think it's possible. I think there's so many things that we don't know about this app. There's so many mysteries of TikTok, where I feel like the other apps, while we don't always love things that are happening on Facebook and Instagram or even on YouTube, we know what's behind it. And there's so much unknown about TikTok. When I first started sharing, it was because I was seeing so much negativity, and there was a lot of anti-Semitism happening around me. I live in New York, and there was just a increase that was really scaring me. And I felt like if a few people were following me and I was able to share about my life with them and educate them, then I was doing something good, because I believe that hate comes from ignorance. So if I could educate some people, then I could teach them more about us, and there would be less hate towards religion, and specifically hate towards Jews, and hopefully less anti-Semitism.
So do you recommend other religious groups do the same as what you're doing and be more active on social media?
Absolutely. And from my own people, from my own friends, I'm always encouraging them to come on and share. I love watching people of other religions and other cultures on TikTok. I have learned so much. And the reality is there's so much I didn't know before, and so much I still don't know. So when I see the nuns who come on TikTok and who are sharing about their life, or Muslims who come on and share about their life, I love to listen and to ask questions the same way people come to me.
And education is important. I'm absolutely with you on that. But religious intolerance is probably at a higher stage than it's been in a long time. Just by dressing in my cassock today, I know as soon as I get home and look on Twitter, there'll be lots of nasty responses. What are your tips for people, if we're saying young people should get on social media and promote their faith, what are your tips for them in order to avoid the horrible side of it?
You can't. That's tip number one, is you actually cannot avoid it. So if you're going to go on and share, just be ready for people to come on and say negative things. I'm ready for it every single day. I feel like if you all you talk about is negativity, then more negativity is going to come your way. So I choose instead to focus, like we talked about, on the education and the positive. Sometimes I will have to address something, especially when it's Holocaust denial or Holocaust jokes, and some extreme anti-Semitism. Recently, I had some swastikas posted on my page. That was pretty intense. But anyone who's coming on to talk about their religion, just know you're going to get hate. But don't let that stop you, because the hate is the reason you have to keep going.
And to refer to scripture, he was hated first. He was hated more than all of us. So that's a good point to make. The Miami Boys Choir, in particular, we got you on to discuss this. Can you tell us what makes them a success?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been listening to the Miami Boys Choir since I'm a kid. There's so many different choirs and boys and girls that are out there singing. And what I love about it is that it's so positive. You're not going to see any negative videos about it. I haven't seen any negative videos about it, which I think is really awesome. I think that people are just looking for fun. As much as there's so much toxicity on TikTok, sometimes people just want to have a good time and they just want to smile and they want to laugh. And I think that these boys are giving people the opportunity, and it's just an old video, right? But then you're seeing the kids coming out and they're adults now and they're making new videos, and it's just bringing people joy. And they want more of that. I can't say that it's always going to be like this, but especially with religion, but I'm living in the moment, because why not? Like, it just feels good to enjoy the positivity coming from the Hebrew words they're singing, and they're beautiful words they're singing, and just the joy that they're bringing to the internet. It's great. And
as far as I've seen from the Christian side of social media, there's a lot of apostasy, there's a lot of heresy, and there's a lot of mistakes and errors. Is it better to have that than to have nothing, or do you have a way of promoting orthodoxy?
I'm not sure what you mean by that question.
So people that would promote your faith, but in a way of misinformation, that would put false truths or false information out there about your Jewish faith.
Very interesting. I think that everybody's going to do what they have to do to share. I can't tell somebody that they're right or wrong. I don't like to go on and argue with other Jewish people and say, you're wrong. Maybe sometimes privately I'll talk to someone about it, but there's no one opinion about being Jewish. There's no one right way to live. So for people to come on and share their life, it's fantastic. If I see them doing it differently, their way isn't less valid because of the way I live mine. And we don't proselytize in Judaism. That's not our way. I will say I have seen once in a while someone Jewish will come on and do that. Yeah, I'll message them privately because I think it's an important thing to share, but it's not my business to tell anybody else how to live their life. The same way that I, for myself, don't expect people to come and tell me that I'm right or wrong.
That's a very interesting take. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for your positivity. Please keep it up. That was Orthodox Jewish TikToker Melinda Strauss.